It's time! On to our next prediction, and it's the lightweight division versus the once mighty Tony Ferguson against Bobby Green. I want to first toss it to you, Isaiah. This is your boy. Who do you think is going to win this, and how?
Man,
This is this.
I'm thinking.
This is
Nah,
the
I'm
most.
thinking. Ferguson, friggin' 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu dog. Guys,
outside of the prelims. This is like the most ridiculous odd because it's like plus 270 and minus 350. It's like the most widest odds in terms of the main card.
So, guys, I like Tony Ferguson. I love that he has like a big ass gas tank. He's got a ground game. He's got a weird strike game. But I think at this point, Tony Ferguson was made for an era in UFC that no longer exists. Um, if we look at like earlier era of his game and as well as the UFC, I would say like the technique was definitely coming from Tony Ferguson, but now that that ship has slowed down, you can definitely see a lot more people having individualized technique, especially with defense being well rounded. More people are coming up in jiu-jitsu. Tony Ferguson has lost the last 5 fights. He hasn't won since 2019 against Donald Cerrone. And even that, you could consider controversial. He did beat up Cerrone, but like, he fought after the bell, yada, yada, yada. But he lost the last 5 bouts since 2019. That is a long time. And unfortunately, it's not like he's been losing a single way. He lost in multiple ways. It all started with Gaethje. We all thought that Justin Gaethje was gonna get starched by Tony Ferguson when that came around back in 2020. We were all there. We remember it. And man, that changed his entire career after that. He got beat by strikes from Justin Gaethje. He got beat by submission against Oliveira. He got beat by submission against Dariush. I'm not sorry, they didn't get beat like in officially, but they lost by a decision. But the way in which they lost was on the ground. Like they went to the ground. He had no advantage there whatsoever. And oh man, Michael Chandler with the up kick became a freaking frog, dude. That was really sad. And then the Diaz one, dude. It's just like he wasn't even trying at that point. You could tell like it was more of like a glorified sparring match at that point, and he got himself into like a really weird like guillotine um position. And I just like at this point I think Tony Ferguson is obviously the chances of him becoming a champion again are very low. Not saying he can, like not saying he cannot, but again, it's very, very low. And it's like a journeyman at this point. It's rough for me. I really like Tony Ferguson. But like my hope, right? My one hope is that he gives a really good performance against Bobby Green. But Bobby Green, unfortunately, is super well rounded too. He's been losing against really well rounded dudes. And because like, Bobby Green is the type to throw a combo when he's in close. He will dip underneath your follow up shots and just do a takedown and then ground and pound you that way. I'm not sure how good his ground game is, but the thing is, Tony Ferguson using his jiu-jitsu lately has mostly been defensive, and it's been sucking me, man. It's my hope. It's my hope that he wins. I do not think he's gonna win though. I think that Bobby Green is probably gonna win by decision because it's a 3 round fight. It could be by TKO where like the referee just stops it again like Gaethje. It's very possible. Tony Ferguson might do something weird and just throw like a freaking go to the bag and then do something cool. But again, the chances of that happening are very low. I will be ecstatic if he wins. I will be freaking jumping to the moon. I don't care about being wrong or right. I'm sorry, I don't care about being wrong, but I just hope Tony Ferguson wins. It's just not likely. What do you think, Mark? What do you think about this fight?
I don't like Tony, so I'm gonna say he's gonna get knocked out. Y'all don't know. There's been long, heated debates about Tony versus Khabib during days in college,
Man,
and I'm finally getting the reap and benefits of this.
stupid.
I just don't see the Tony of old, uh, you know, doing much anymore because, bro, he is had injury after injury in terms of his knees. And he has loss after loss after loss after loss after loss recently. He lost in a very, I'm not gonna say to me that Nate Diaz fight was very off-putting for me. It didn't look right. But the other bouts with Charles Oliveira, Dariush, Justin Gaethje, those were pretty out there that he definitively lost, especially the Justin Gaethje one, where he just got mauled. And I think he's going to lose to Bobby Green, based on his previous track record of a five fight losing streak. I think Bobby Green is going to knock him out. He's going to knock him out in the second round. Tony used to be that guy. I just don't see him winning this fight, and that's just my honest opinion. Based on his track record previously and how he's looked in his most previous fights, I think it's time for Tony to call it quits. And
Anyway, I think he has a chance. Again, this is far fetched because Tony Ferguson is not getting any younger. It's that round one has to be round one. Freaking completely dismantles Bobby Green, goes behind the back. There's a rear naked choke, or it goes from the front. There's a show me something that you're still in here, that you're still that dog. If not, don't stay here very long. This is the fight game, guys. You don't play here.
no,
Get your
dude,
money, get out.
and that's the thing. Is like the longer you stay, the higher chance of you having brain damage in your older years.
Yes.
And it's not fun. But let us know what you guys think about the Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. Who do you have winning? Do you have Tony winning, or do you have Bobby Green? Let us know in the comment section below.